Alright guys, so here's the tutorial on how to build in CPM to use different blocks and make the walls that I've made. Okay, so you will come to the place where you want to build, then you press phone, you press CPM editor, then you go to other right at the end, then you swipe, not scroll, swipe right to the end until you see the blocks. Then when you reach at the end, you will see the square. You press it, you place it on the ground. Make sure you untick physics right there at the top. Untick physics so that your things will not drop down to the floor. Then you press scale, you adjust it if you want to raise it, like the height, spread it, your width, and all the kind of stuff. It is up to you on how you want to size your wall. So those scale, red, blue, green squares are the ones that will help you to scale your object. Then you can press move, then you move the things up, front, sideways. Then you can adjust it the way you want it to be and place it where you want to place it. And again, you can change colors, any color that you want, blue, red, green, yellow, any color that you want. After you're done, you can duplicate it, in order for you to not forget unticking physics. You can just duplicate the objects that already existing and then take it and then place it where you want to place it, to your next spot or whatsoever. That's what you can do. And you can also change the color of the next object, so you can place it the way you want and whatsoever, and then change the color if you want to change the color of that wall. Now let's say you want to make a floor. You don't need to rotate it. You can just use scale and then adjust your object on how you want it to be. Lower it right to the ground, make it look like a tile, then spread it and it will look like a foundation. You don't need to rotate your object and make it seem flat or whatsoever. You can just use scale to make it look like a foundation tower. You see, easy. Then you can duplicate that to also make your rooftop, and then you can use scale to adjust your roof tower. You see, it's your roof or your second floor or whatsoever that you want to do with your next blockade. Then you can adjust it the way you want it to be, and just like that, you will have an object that's making sense to you and slowly coming to life in what you want to build at that moment. So yeah guys, this was the tutorial on how to build these type of houses in CPM. If you are a person who played Minecraft before, trust me, it will be easy. Now here's the example of what will happen if you didn't untick physics. See, after you place it there and you come out of construction, it will fall. So it is very important to untick physics. Very important, guys. All right, thank you for watching. Check you in the next video.